Hello everyone, welcome back. This is my part 2 of Bookings 101. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to open slots, how to close them, and everything else when it comes to bookings for VIPKid on your app, okay, your mobile app. So, my name is Yvonne, almost forgot. My channel is about getting back to the basics of good online ESL teaching, as well as helping new interested teachers getting through the hiring process. So first, a little FYI for those who are not working for a VIPKid yet, but that were interested in understanding how bookings work with VIPKid. I just want to let you know that you can open any time between 8:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Beijing time. So you're just going to have to check with your time zone when that is for you. And if you want help getting through the hiring process, if you're interested in joining VIPKid, you can use my referral code and I'm going to help you get through every part, every step of the process. Send me an email so that I have your email and I can communicate with you that way. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is to actually download the VIPKid app if you haven't already. Once you download it, you sign in with the email address that you applied with and the password that you used. From there, you can go into time slots. It's at the bottom. You click that, and then you're going to have your whole day set out in half-hour slots. So you need to unlock at the top right. You need to click that button to unlock so that you can actually click on those slots. Once you click on them, you are making them available for parents to book you. Now you open them up and you also have the choice to click the short notice 24-hour button. There's a little button. If it is not blue, that means your short notice is not on. So you can click that if you want to turn on short notice, which is being able to get booked within 24 hours of that time. So if you opened an 8 a.m. time, your time, slot, and you click the short notice button, that means that that booking, that slot can be booked up until 7 a.m. your time. After that, if it's 7:30, let's just say, or 7:15, parents can't book that 8 a.m. slot anymore. So that's what short notice is. And if you don't want that, if you say, no, I'm going to be sleeping, I don't know if that will get booked, then just close it and make sure that you don't have that clicked. Okay. You're also going to see little letters saying PT and PPT. So PT means peak time and PPT means peak time. So the peak times are the times that parents ask for the most. Now, if you can open those times, that would be best. And if you can open peak times, that's great too. If you can't, or if you can and want to open more, don't worry. Just because there's no little peak time or peak time, that doesn't mean that you won't get booked. You can open all the slots that you want. And another thing about short notice, if you are opening a time, a slot within 24 hours, so let's just say it is Friday night, 7 p.m. your time, and you want to open a slot for your Saturday morning, 7 a.m. When you open that 7 a.m. Saturday slot, it's automatically going to be considered a short notice, because if not, you could not get booked for it. So I just want to let you know, it's going to show up blue, it's going to show up short notice. That 24-hour little button is going to be blue, which is great. Okay, so now that you've opened your slots, here are some other things that you're going to want to do in your app. So the next thing that you want to do is check your notifications, what you will be notified for, because you can turn them off and on. So you need to go into account, which again is at the bottom, and then there's this little hexagon on the top right, and that is your settings. So click on the settings, and then you have all these different options. The first option is notifications. You click on notifications, and that's where you can turn anything off or on that you want. So you can get notified anytime you get booked for a class. You can get notified when you get unbooked for a class. You can get notified when you have a short notice class. There are so many notifications that you can choose from. So you're going to have to decide what you want to turn on or off. Maybe for starting out, you might want to turn everything off so that you are very fully aware of what's going on. make sure to turn on your class reminder. So this class reminder sends you a notification that your class is going to start in 15 minutes. So that is really important because sometimes we get busy doing stuff and we know our class is coming up, but you might just it might slip your mind and you might forget. So having that notification reminds you of, oh yes, oh my gosh, I need to get to my classroom, start getting ready. Now you can go back, click back, and go into set an alarm. If you want the app to set an alarm for your classes, you can go in there and make those changes. If you don't want to, then just leave that off. I have my own alarm, so I don't use this in my app. Again, go back and click on Enable Trial Rebooking. So this is if you want to, once you have the trial certification, when a student does not show up to your trial class within, oh my goodness, I actually forget how many minutes, but let's just say it's been 3 minutes and the parents have notified VIPKid that actually they're not going to show up, VIPKid is going to see if there's another trial student that is available, and they're going to rebook your class. So this is giving you the option of getting fully paid. If you decide not to turn this on because you are not comfortable with that yet, that's totally fine. You might want to turn it on later. So at first, when you start teaching trials, you're going to look at the lesson, you're going to get ready for that one lesson that you're booked for. So if you turn this on and your student doesn't show up and VIPKid replaces that student with another trial, with another lesson, then you might not feel prepared to teach that trial. So it's totally up to you. You might want to leave that off for now and turn it on later when you feel more comfortable teaching on the fly. Okay, so now you can go back in just your account. So you click back, or you just click on account again and it goes back to the original page, and you will see a little flower at the top somewhere. That is actually the amount of followers that you have. I don't know if they mixed up flowers and followers or if they thought it would be funny to mesh the two, but your flower is actually the amount of followers. So if you have 5 followers, that means that 5 parents have chosen to follow you. So basically to see when your schedule is open, when, I don't know if they also get notified when you open short notice and stuff, but they've chosen you as one of their favorite teachers, and they've chosen you to follow you. So that's really great. The more followers you have, the more bookings should come in. The other thing that you can also go check is you go back into your home button, which is on the bottom left, and there's a little to-do bar. A little to-do bar, yes. And you can click on that and it will come up and it will show you things that you have to do. Like you need to finish your feedback for the classes that you've taught. And then if you go through, there's 3 options. One of them is requests, booking requests. So parents might ask to book that same time in 2 weeks again. So if you just taught an 8 a.m. class on a Saturday, the parents can request to book that same 8 a.m. class in 2 weeks if you did not open that slot. So that's where you can go check your requests to see what requests have been made. So sometimes they will be for exactly the same classes, and sometimes they can even request different times, but this is where I'm unsure of what they can do and what they can choose. But that's just good to know so that you don't miss any. Go check your requests and see if there are times that you can open for those students. Okay, and now it's tip time. So my tip to you is to open as many classes as you can when you first start working. Open more than you normally would. If you had in mind working at 5 a.m. from 5 to 7 a.m. every day, open up 4 a.m. as well. Just make yourself available. And once you have bookings coming in and you have students that want to book you, you can then start closing it, maybe the 4 a.m. slot or the 4:30 slot, and really get back to the schedule that you wanted to. But when you first start out, you really want to get exposure and make yourself available as much as possible. My other tip is to keep a consistent schedule as much as possible. So consistent schedules or regular schedules will bring in regular students. Now the students or the parents like knowing that you are available every Wednesday, 6 p.m. their time. So Right after piano class, they take their VIPKid class. They like knowing that because it's part of their routine. So if you have a regular schedule, that will help bring in those regular students that take the same classes every week or every 2 weeks. The next tip is to open up slots as soon as you get hired. Do not wait and do not think, oh gosh, I'm too afraid. I don't know if I can do this. Open them up because your profile is actually boosted the first 2 weeks. So parents can book you at a cheaper rate. So they kind of give them incentives so that you get some experience. And if you don't open up slots during those first 2 weeks, you won't have any teaching experience, which will then make it harder, and parents can't book you at that special rate anymore. So it's going to be harder to get parents to book you because they will see your profile and see that you don't have very much teaching experience compared to another teacher. So make sure that you open up those slots right away when you start working for VIPKid. And lastly, close short notice slots if you go to bed. If you decide, okay, I waited this long, or I was hoping that these short notice slots would get booked, but they didn't, close them. Don't keep them open, because if you keep them open and they get booked in the middle of the night, you might be sleeping, but it gets booked and you don't wake up for that class. That is really, really bad. That is a teacher no-show, and it looks, again, really bad on your profile and in your ratings. So make sure that you close those short notice classes if you're not planning on waking up early to check them to see if they got booked. And if not, do exactly that. If you have opened, your 5 a.m. and your 6 a.m. or 5:30 and 6, set an alarm for 4 o'clock and then check your phone, check to see if they got booked. And then if not, you will have to check again later to see if your 6:30 got booked, right? So don't just leave them open and think, meh, I might get notified by the app. You have to check, you have to set an alarm. Okay, and that's it for the app. If you haven't already, go check out my video on how to open slots and how the whole portal works. Check that one out, and then also check out my video on teaching your first class. I go through all the things that you need to remember to do when you teach your first class, because it can be quite overwhelming and you get all this information when you first start applying and going through the application process with VIPKid, and they bombard you with information because they want you to know everything. So I just put what you need to know when you teach your first class. And I encourage you to take a pen and paper to write down notes for yourself so that you can feel confident and do the best that you can do when you start teaching. And if you liked this video, please give it a like. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos on basic online ESL teaching. I am all about being a minimalist and going back to what's important about teaching, as well as any other videos on the hiring process. So come check it out, check out my videos, and hit subscribe so that you get notified. If you click the bell, you'll get notified every time I put out a new video. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Bye.